Alright, I had this experience today, right? I had this experience, and I'm going to call this the platform of acceptance, right? I'm just going to make some chicken for the kids, you know what I mean? So you won't hear this one really long. I know that's really loud. But this is the thing, we went on a hike today, right? We went on a hike, me, Trinity, and Caleb. And, you go on these things, and we're always talking about trying to be present, right? We're always talking about trying to be present. You got to be present with your children. And being present is, where you're not allowing and you're choosing to be all the way there, all the way present there. No distractions, and you're just really enveloping, and accepting of them, right? Now, we went on a hike, and on the hike, it's a trail, a bunch of trails and stuff, and, there's like water and stuff, and trees. My kids, if I wasn't actually at their birth, I would think that they were born outside, right? They love being outside. So I kind of had it in my mind, like, okay, how can I really, because instead, there's two ways that this trip can go. You can take the trip with you where you're just like walking along and you're saying, no, don't do this, no, don't touch that, no, don't go in there, no, don't do that. You could do that, right, if you wanted to. Or you can be accepting, where this is what I'm talking about. You can have this platform of acceptance. Now, I call it platform because there is a certain number, there's a size, let's imagine a stage, platform, of things that you can imagine happening that you'll be okay with. Now, if you have a tiny stage where walking in the trees is okay, walking in the grass is okay, walking on the path is okay, walking in a straight line is okay, and, maybe ducking down to pick up a rock or something, if you're doing it, if you have a platform like that, there's a whole bunch of things that can happen off that platform that'll mess with you, get your goat, you know what I mean? Not get your child, but, get on your nerves. Now, I thought, let me just think of some things I can anticipate happening, right? And as I was thinking about them, I even prepared myself like, it'll be fine, no problem. So we're walking. Kids are going off the path, and I'm thinking, that's cool, no problem, they can go off the path. Yeah, Caleb, go off the path, go over there, enjoy yourself. Then we came over close to the water part, right? Go close to the water. And, they love water. One second, let me shake the chicken. They love water. Love, like, playing in it. They love, splashing in it and all that other stuff. And there's like a path, and the path kind of has a hill a little bit. And as they are, exploring the water, Caleb kind of climbs down the little, off the path. I'm still okay. I'm still good. He climbs down the path, and I even think, what if he falls in the water? I'm like, if he falls in the water, he'll be pretty shaken up. We'll be good to go. I'll jump in and get him. And then I'll be like, hey man, we gotta watch ourselves, we gotta be careful. And I was prepared for that. I let him kind of climb down, and then his face got funny, and he wanted help, and so he was like that, and I was like, help, and he's like, and he wasn't gonna fall in, but he was losing his ground and his footing. And so I pulled him up, and I was like, hey, I'm glad you're up here, you made it. But gotta be careful, gotta be careful, gotta be aware. So he's like, he's all happy. The moment has still been, this moment's still wonderful. Now I have two children, so Trinity's kind of walking ahead, she's kind of singing to herself, and Caleb's kind of close by me. Caleb wants a rock, he wants a stone. So I go over and I'm trying to dig the rock up, because it's down in the ground, so I'm digging it. And next thing I know, I notice as I'm digging on the rock, I noticed that Caleb doesn't have his shoes on. And because he doesn't have his shoes on, I'm like, where did his shoes go? He's standing there next to where he threw them into the water. Now, at some point he must have looked at it, because he always checks with me before he does things. And so he threw them into the water. They're down this hill in the water. We were 35 minutes away from our car. 35. So I have a choice to make. Do I climb down this slippery slope, possibly throw myself in the water, get the shoes, leave the shoes in there, and have to carry him on my back because there's stickers and briars and glass and all that stuff, carry him on my shoulders the entire way back? Or choose the stimulus of making him walk back barefoot, hoping he doesn't, cut himself or harm himself? Which one? Now let me tell you, the platform of acceptance, this instance was not on that platform, by the way. This instance was not on that platform of acceptance, which is why I want to expand it, because I was looking for a happy brush. I was looking for some happiness somewhere, and I didn't have it. I could not find that. No, I didn't have it. It was nowhere to be found. Here's my son. Shoes and water. I'm there, and I was so upset. I chose, I guess, or I think I got overtaken by upset before I actually chose it. Yes, I think I chose it, or was overtaken by it. So, what did I do? I risked my life. I risked my life and limb to climb down this precipice as the ground was coming out from under me. Now again, I had to leave the children. You can't take the children down to this thing. And I chose to get his shoes. Now, and that's a whole other story, if you wish. But the point that I'm making, the point that I'm trying to get across, is that if I had expanded my platform of acceptance, there's some things that would be okay. I'm not talking about danger, you know what I mean, of the children, hurting themselves, harming themselves, impaling themselves or something like that. Nobody's talking about anything like that. I'm talking about the things that our children do. Whether you have a typical child or whether you have an autistic child, the things that our kids do. That platform needs to be expanded, that everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? Things are okay. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that things are okay and right. Things are okay, they can be okay, but we can work to where we get what we want, as far as what we want for our children. And that's just my encouragement, because I want to replay in my mind, if I had that platform of acceptance, that was a grand one. I would love, that my goal is to get the playroom into real life, you know what I'm saying, to where it's not just a playroom with a mixed message of we got this happy place where everything is okay and free. And then, in the rest of the home is this place of no's and, no's and restrictions and lack of understanding and all these other things. Like, that's what I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I'm working toward that, and I think that has to do with, when I think about our house, like, jumping on a couch, or, different trinkets that we have around here that you're just so, and you value these trinkets higher than your child, you know what I mean? You value these things that we surround ourselves with, and I think that there might need to be a reality check, you know what I mean? How can we have a loving and accepting home? Like, for example, if you had, loose analogy, if you had a child that was in a wheelchair, how privy would you be to having steps in your home? Lots of steps. You gotta have steps to go to the bathroom, steps to go in your room, steps to, you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, why can't you get up these steps? I'm annoyed because you can't get up the steps. It's like, wait a minute, I'm in a wheelchair, you know what I mean? Like, our kids have they have isms and things, you know what I'm saying, that are valuable to them. And I think that a place of acceptance is like, wow, my child or my husband or spouse or whatever is in a wheelchair, and to build something that's something that you accept, Now, I don't put expectations on them, but I do have hope and I have desire. Even as I would take all the steps out of my house, or take all the breakable things, or all the valuable, so to speak, things that would just make me go, if they busted it, move those things, remove them, so that I can, actually practice accepting, you know what I'm saying, and loving, What's going on, Trent? Huh? You're cold? Okay. We have the goats have returned. And so that's my encouragement. Expand your platform of acceptance. Expand your platform of acceptance. Expand it to make it all inclusive. There's that word, all inclusive. Hey man, what are you doing? We were just talking about you throwing your shoes. Throwing your shoes. These are the shoes. These are it. Shoes. You threw your shoes in the water. You ready? You ready to eat, snot nose? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Tell them. Bye-bye. Them. Say bye-bye. 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 Okay. See y'all, man.